Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking AEW Collision. That's right. There was a collision that happened. I know we were all watching the Survivor Series, but there was a collision that happened. And then, of course, on Friday, there was a SmackDown that happened. So for you completionists out there who want us to talk about shows,
we will talk about it.
That happened before a premium live event, and then of course a collision where probably the most significant thing is Malachi Black mentioning CM Punk and Cesaro, a name we haven't heard of from a long time. But Larson, here's the thing: this is amazing. Our good friendo, the Robserver, in anticipation of more Punk Daily, whipped up a Punk Daily theme. You're not going to be able to hear this till the actual broadcast, but if I can get some slam dancing from you, I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off right now. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to get some Punk Daily tonight. We're going to get Punk Daily now. All right. Yeah, thank you, Rob, for the Punk Daily theme song. It never ends, Larson. You can't.
No, it
escape
never ends. It's a Kafkaesque nightmare. It is.
It is.
So where to start? I guess here is some Punk news. Following CM Punk making his return to WWS Survivor Series this past weekend, Tony Khan was asked to comment about Punk, his former champion, returning to the competition, WWE, in an interview with BBC West Midlands. This is how Tony responded. These
I'm sorry, the BBC West Midlands.
What it said.
How did they score an interview with Tony Khan?
Because Tony was promoting All In.
Oh, that's right. The on
tickets go on sale.
Yeah, boy.
Coming up soon, if not today.
BBC West Midlands. Because this interview, did you see the actual clip? This dude is super in his bedroom interviewing Tony Khan. So the West Midlands BBC branch has just added this dude's his mom's apartment or some shit.
Something like that. Anyway, this is what Tony had to say. His mom's flat. Come on, Steve.
His mom's flat. Sorry, my bad.
This is what Tony had to say. Quote, "Can't talk about that, nor do I think it's the time or the place, but I appreciate you asking. I'm very excited about AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. Not to dodge or duck your question. That's just something I can't legally talk about."
I'm going to start using that when
you just
Lacey,
don't want to answer anything?
When Lacey's like, hey, why haven't you, researched your maps that you're supposed to do for trivia? I legally can't talk about that, honey. Why haven't your clothes are all over the floor? Legally, I can't talk about that.
Legally, I can't pick them up right
now. Larson's like, Steve, you left some dog crap in this person's front lawn. Larson, legally, I'm not allowed to touch their property.
Yeah. Legal apparatus is in play that prevents me from picking up the feces of my animal from another person's property.
Right, exactly. So, look, man, obviously, the BBC West Midlands, well done on getting first dibs at getting Tony Khan.
Hard-hitting questions, they got to ask them.
Hey, that's a good one to ask. Good job, West Midlands. But yeah, I don't know. What did you think? Let's play Dr. Phil. Let's play Dr. Phil now, Larson. Analyzing Tony Khan's body language. Did he seem like he wanted to pop off on the guy? Because when he said, not the time or place, it kind of seemed like he wanted to say some stronger words.
Well, Tony Khan kind of had that nervous smile on his face. Mm-hmm. He kind of smiled through the whole answer, but not like, oh, this is funny or I'm enjoying answering this question. It kind of felt like, I got to answer this. All right, let me get through this, find a way to not answer it. And just we can move on with the conversation. That's what it felt like.
There's also a little bit of, hey, Captain Obvious, I'm not thrilled about how the whole CM Punk thing ended up. So why are you even bothering me about that? I'm here on your little BBC West Midlands, and you're sitting there in your mom's basement. Sorry, your mom's flat basement. That really doesn't make any sense. Apartments don't have basements.
No.
But yeah. So, hopefully You know, man, he's been kicked enough. He's got his own business that he's got to tend to, and people need to leave him alone on the old, unk pay business. That's Steve's editorializing there, man.
Yeah. What else is he gonna say? Good for Phil. I mean, that's the most you're gonna get.
And like that'd probably be a lie. He probably, good for him. Whatever. Yeah. I don't want. I don't wish him well.
Be like, whatever. I don't care. Not around here anymore. That's what's important to me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's not around here to threaten my life.
So, anyways, but Seth Rollins, on the other hand, wasn't shy about addressing Punk's return during a WWE live event in Peoria, Illinois. That's what he had to say. These transcripts come to you from the Wrestling Observer. I'm not going to waste any more breath on somebody who has been gone for 8 years, has done nothing but try to tear this place down. Instead, I want to take my time. Says waste my breath, but he corrects himself. Use my breath, talking about the people who have been here all along. That's everybody in the back who have made WWE the hottest ticket in town. And that's every single one of you here tonight in Peoria. Ever the company guy, Seth Rollins.
Absolutely. Also interesting from, I don't know if it was that show or I think it was that show.
Oh, the Drew McIntyre one? Yeah. It was the same one.
Yeah, and that was
news on the internet. Yeah.
Felt that was pretty significant. Everybody wondered, Drew McIntyre stormed off. Sometimes when people storm off, they don't show up to work. Drew McIntyre, true professional, and cut a really great promo talking about his match. I think he had like a title match with him and Seth or something like that. And yeah, he made reference to reports you might hear on the internet. He basically just said, things aren't doing too well for me right now. But then he actually seemed in pretty good spirits. So, man, if this next story is true, I hope their number one guy that they try to keep in the company, just because I've always really, really enjoyed his work ever since he came back from, basically becoming a new blueprint for leaving WWE and coming back a brand new superstar. Talking about Drew McIntyre and WWE trying to keep talent from leaving the company on a recent Wrestling Observer Radio. Dave Meltzer reports that WWE is offering huge money to retain talent. These transcripts come to you via WrestlingNews.co. He says, there's a lot of movement in WWE right now as far as they don't want anyone leaving. And there's a lot of people who are being offered a very big money that's besides just CM Punk. But other people who are being offered very big money, much more than they're making to stay.
Now, I wonder if is this huge money comparable to the money they were throwing around when AEW, was
2019
was on the scene, and they were trying to keep people from going there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, you would like to think that this, TKO deal would enhance the company in some way, as opposed to taking on, just debt from other companies
away from Vince.
Right, exactly. That they can actually, plunk down big money, for people who really deserve that big money. Drew McIntyre, like I said, first and foremost, keep him around, man. Keep him around. You got to make him happy. I still say, we talked about this yesterday on the show, I still say you can put that title on him and have Rollins versus Punk be away from the title. I think that'd be an awesome idea. Have Drew feud with Damian Priest over that. That'd be really cool. Let's go back to Seth Rollins, because we're going to talk about that. But it's great that people have been sort of digging up all sorts of different footage of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
For example, on the Logan Paul podcast, saying, what bygones are bygones. I'm willing to work.
Riddle in that instance, wasn't he?
In that instance, I believe he was talking about Riddle. But the idea that I'm cool making money and, I'm not going to be the kind of person that's going to hold a lot of stuff against you. Now, maybe there's something more egregious with CM Punk. I don't know. But you and I were kind of on the same page. And I think the general idea out there that people have is that his tirade at the end of the Survivor Series main event that happened, that was primarily caught by fan cams. And then maybe continued backstage was all, as they say, a work, was all, him understanding, 1,000%. Hey, this is going to be a lot of money that we're going to be making doing this. And so I'm going to be a company guy. And yeah, I think that could be a really, really fun feud right there.
Absolutely. And yeah, you watch that bit and it seems like it's storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you hear about the stuff backstage, that some stuff might have been filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him cut this promo over the weekend in Peoria. Yeah, it seems like this is going to lead to a story down the road, building up to WrestleMania. Sure.
Can you think of a more highly anticipated Raw in the past 5-10 years than the one we've got tonight with CM Punk coming back with a microphone?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of one offhand.
Right? I mean, when Vince was back at Gorilla this year for WrestleMania, I think a lot of people were. What's the opposite of highly anticipated? Dreading?
There's a word for that, but it's not coming to me.
Dreading. I think it's dreading.
Dreading. Yeah, that'd be it.
That's the one. And we saw how that turned out. I know. I'm just waiting for like Sean Ross Sapp to drop. Oh, guess what? Vince is somehow.
I know.
Elbowed his way back into the company. He's at Gorilla.
He's in Nashville tonight for Raw.
Oh God. Ugh. If we put it out there, it won't happen. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Real quick here, Fazzy Wazzy. He's been a member for 46 months. He says, I legally can't talk about how long I've been a member of this new podcast. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll respect the legal mechanisms there.
Last thing we need is a lawsuit on our hands because we're starting asking questions, Steve.
Whoa, buddy. That's why they don't let us in those press conference, man. They're like, Steven Larson, too controversial. That's what
controversial.
They say. Yeah. High Plains Drifter.
You got it.
They say they're more controversial on BBC Midlands. I'll tell you what. High Plains Drifter here with the Super Chat says they scored that interview because TK will talk to TK will talk to a goddamn wall.
Tony Khan does press rounds, man.
That is like, I feel like that's a little bit like that's over the line, High Plains Drifter.
I mean, it's very blunt.
The guy, he's already down on his luck, everybody. Listen, he's very, he's down on his luck. I don't know what these ratings are going to look like today for Collision, buddy. They ain't going to be good. You think it's going to do worse than the head-to-head with SmackDown? Because that was...
Yes.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yes.
Wow.
We might get over 200,000 for Collision, Steve.
No way.
There was a lot of anticipation for Survivor Series. You got the WarGames matches. You got Randall Keith returning. And just the prospect of Phil showing up.
Yeah.
It's going to be awful. What's the word I like to use? Shellacked.
Shellacking.
Absolutely shellacked.
That is a good word.
Eduardo
he'll
Morales.
Talk to a goddamn wall, but he won't come on this show. God,
we asked him. He probably would.
We've never asked him. He probably would too.
He probably would.
It'd feel awkward. I don't like that. It'd be awkward.
Yeah, we don't like awkward situations. That's
why
we don't really do a whole lot.
He'd be like, guys, you're killing me over here. Come on, look, Tony.
Eduardo Morales super chat says, "Fun fact: I just thought of CM Punk as the first former AEW World Champ to go to WWE. I suppose that's true."
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering the TNT title was like the top title while Cody held it, spiritually speaking. The Ashen Chevalier, member for 4 months, says, outside of New Japan, what's the best Japanese wrestling promotion in your opinion? Fuck if I know.
Stardom.
Sure. I see a lot of cool clips from that. Noah seems cool. Wherever Alpha Zoe is right now.
Yes.
That's my top Japanese promotion. But I'll be honest with you. Sorry, I just don't. Look, Larson, what's the name of this show?
Going in Raw.
Well, the actual title of
Going
channel.
in Raw, WWE and AEW.
You even left off Steven Larson's Going in Raw, WWE and AEW.
I was trying to get to the point of the question, the point of the answer first.
WWE and AEW, man. That's what we cover here.
We cover predominantly.
We don't even cover New Japan.
Sometimes AAA.
I kind of sometimes I stumble upon what's going on in New Japan sometimes.
Tabletop Deep Dive, member for 4 months, the CM Punk is willing to go back to the East simply because he wants to stick it to Tony Khan. He needs a good end to his long career. I think that's more the thing, is he's trying to salvage whatever legacy he has in the pro wrestling business and go out how he wants to go out rather than getting fired.
Let me ask you something. Just for the sake of conversation, what do you think matters more to him? A good end to his legacy, repairing that legacy, or sticking it to people, sticking it to Tony Khan?
Well, by accomplishing the former, you achieve the latter.
I'm just saying, like, if he's not a two birds with one stone guy like Kevin Owens, what do you do? Like, hey, Phil, let's role play. Hey, Phil, you want to come back? To stick it to TK. You could also improve your legacy. What's more important to you?
And I imagine CM Punk could kind of just laugh and be like, I'm here to do business, Paul.
I'm here for that bag. Here for that big old
paycheck. Here to do business and work and come home to WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Probably what he said.
I'm here to come home. Yeah. I'm here to come home. I'm here to get score an interview with BBC West Midlands.
There we go.
Yeah. By the way,
maybe CM Punk would have been on that interview if he was still in AEW.
Probably, man. Probably. We have over 1,000 people watching us right now on the YouTube right now. Larson, I'm happy to report that we are.
Oh yeah.
We are
great strides. We made great strides over the weekend.
What a great term. We're making great strides. And right now, I'm not a math guy like you're a math guy. You know, I
325.
We're only 325 subscribers away from reaching 198,891. You guys know. If you've been paying attention, that's a very important number to us. Why, Larson?
It's palindrome. We love palindromes.
It's the same beginning to end to beginning.
Yes.
And so in order to achieve that at this point, we're only 325 subs away. So if you're watching and you enjoy what you're seeing and you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button and the notify bell. You always get that notification when we're going live, when we got new content. Hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Hit that like button. I noticed that we've got over 1,000 people watching. And we're only at 199 likes. Now, usually...
That's a half glass empty point of view. We're at less than 20 minutes in the show. We're basically at 200 likes already.
Yeah, but
we're over 200 likes. That's
great.
Man,
I look at the percentages, okay? What I see when I'm looking at this, we've got 1,100 people watching right now. I see... What is the math on that? 1/5?
Yeah, 20%.
That's 20%. Let's get up to 50%. Let's get up to 500 likes on this show by the time we're off the air in about 40 minutes. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's get to 500 likes. And if you don't, oh man, you guys will not have known a finger wag like mine. You don't want me to bust the finger wag out. This is a sample. This is scratching the surface with the finger wag.
Just the like the Costco sample finger wag.
I know.
What you get if you actually get the real one.
Walking around, you got like tons of toilet paper. You got like 4 gallons of milk, and you're like, oh man, would you like a sample of what? Finger wag. Whoa! I don't think so. Hey, so what are the chances CM Punk's going to do a Broken Skull Sessions?
I think it'd be pretty great. They should.
Wouldn't
should totally
it be
do that.
Amazing?
Either that. I wonder if they'll do. If not that, if Stone Cold's not available or whatever, if he goes on after the bell with Corey Graves.
But
they used to be tight.
I
know they had a bit of a falling out, but
used to be.
If they can work things out,
dude, I don't know about that. I don't know about
one of the two. They should do one of the two for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Here, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I know we're getting really close. We're going to talk some business real quick. I assure everybody we're going to get to the Collision recap shortly.
They're dying to know what we thought about
dying Collision. To know. Yeah. So we're very close to getting 198,891 subscribers here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We want to build up back our Twitch subscriber base too.
Yeah.
We haven't been streaming much on Twitch as we have been in months prior. We're going to try to get back on that. I can't do a 24-hour stream again. I cannot.
We're too old. We don't have. We can't do that.
But I think I could swing a 12-hour stream.
Whoa!
Now, I'm putting it out there. If we can get to our sub goal here on YouTube, 198,891 subs, maybe we could do a 12-hour stream in celebration, and maybe we can use that, stream both on YouTube, Twitch, perchance. Use that stream to get us back up to 1,000 subs on Twitch.
Yeah, right now we're lacking on Twitch, man. Like I'd be happy to get back to 500, to be honest with you. But no, that's a great idea. Yeah, I'm down for a 12-hour stream. Let's get those YouTube subs up to 198,891 in a 12-hour stream. I'm down. Speaking of streams, are we deciding? Are we doing I'm a yay for Raw tonight to live stream it.
Let me double check.
Tentative?
Let me double check on one thing, and if I can work it out, then I'll be yay as well.
Okay, cool. So possible for a live Raw watch along.
Here, let me
which would be
now.
a dual stream as well. We do that on Twitch and on the YouTube. So yeah, we'll get that going. Also, of course, we got a Patreon. I'll mention this real quick. Patreon.com/Steve and Larson. $5 a month gets you the Friendo Club setup. Look, You've heard about the tribal chief setup. That's only for one man. Roman Reigns, definitely not for Seth Rollins. But you know what Seth Rollins can enjoy? The Friendo Club setup, just like you guys, $5 a month on patreon.com/Stephen Larson, or by clicking the join button here on YouTube. $5 a month gets you bonus episodes of Stephen Larson's Going in Raw, WWE, and AEW podcast, gets you access to our question threads, and, of course, the Big Blue Predictions Challenges we do every single month where y'all get to participate, predict the various outcomes of the various premium live events and pay-per-views. Right now, Patrick Sparks, the B-Man himself, this guy's been with us forever, near and dear to our hearts, a good friend of ours, and now your Big Blue Predictions champion, John Hosey, our first two-time champion. The reign is over.
Yes.
The reign is over. Long live the B-Man.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
All right. So, you want to talk about Collision now?
Yeah, let's talk about Collision.
If we must.
We got the Continental Classic is sort of dominating, AEW right now.
Did you watch Dynamite this week? I was out of town, so I didn't get a chance to catch up on it yet. Did you watch it?
I watched most of it.
All right.
What happened on Dynamite this week?
I literally just said I didn't watch it. I know Swerve beat Jay Lethal.
I did watch that.
And Mox beat Mark Briscoe.
I watched that. That was a really good match. Yeah, I watched that stuff. I don't know if I got. I don't remember what was. I don't even know what the main event would have been there. I remember turning it on though. But I think at a certain point, like around maybe 6:30, Lacey was like, do you want to go outside or something? I don't know. And I was like, I don't.
Do you want to see the sun today?
I think I said legally I don't have to watch this because we're not reviewing it yet. Do you want to see the sun today? Yeah, right. So I might have missed what happened in the end because I had no motivation.
All right, I'm just curious. I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. The Continental Classic matches, seemingly, I watched Dynamite, but the two matches here on Collision were very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you have tournaments, especially round robin style tournaments, I feel like you got the possibilities to tell some pretty intriguing stories. We see this every year in the G1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That being said, telling stories of late isn't exactly AEW's strong suit.
Right, yeah.
There is some good stuff. Then there's stuff that just kind of seems hastily put together.
Yeah, dude, it's
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't want to do this because they don't want to make the Continental Classic to seem to be like a carbon copy of the G1.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you prefer? The winner of the Continental Classic getting a title shot or getting 3 belts?
Oh.
Including a new championship.
I like ripping off the G1. I'll be honest with you. I think that, some of AEW's issues right now, I do think has to do with some of the details. The ambiguity of what a Triple Crown is. Like, I get it. You defend the Triple Crown across 3 promotions, AEW, Ring of Honor, and New Japan. I understand that. But, when Eddie originally said, I'm going to put these titles up and defend them, I thought he said in every match, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
That was the impression I got as well.
There seemed to be some ambiguity as to what exactly was happening. And like they have the new title, I guess, under wraps. It's in the velvet cloth.
It'll be unveiled, I assume, by once there's the winter crowned. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But dude, and this is not meant as any disrespect towards the titles, but it's not like the New Japan Strong, the Ring of Honor World, and this new title, which I don't even know what, it's just a title then.
I think it's the Continental Championship. That's what they're calling it.
It's the Continental Championship. So now it's just a title that, it's not necessarily defended it's not like it can only be defended in the tournament. It's then just a title. It's just another mid-card title. The Triple Crown becomes a mid-card title.
So then the question is, if the Continental Classic is going to be an annual event, then what does the winner get next year?
I would assume. I think they're doing the thing where,
as a champion in the tournament, the champion has to win the tournament. Okay, all right.
I think that the champion puts it up in the tournament. I think that's the thing.
Okay.
The way they go about their messaging sometimes in AEW, in general, is just kind of messy and isn't like punctuated. You know, it's not like they say, oh, this is what's happening. It's like, we've got this third title. It's a whole one title, but there's 3 titles. It's just a little bit on the messy side. And I think it makes it a bit more difficult for people to digest. That might be a small quibble. I know people are gonna be like, what's ambiguous about it? It's like 3 titles. I don't know. The titles themselves are kind of not the strongest, but they're not like the most prestigious titles there are. So I don't know. It was different from when like Dan Severn was carrying like the Pride title, which is like legit, and
UFC
then like
title.
The UFC title, like an NWA title,
and the NWA World title.
Sorry, yeah, the NWA World Championship, which I know at the time wasn't, but historically at that point it really wasn't in the garbage like it kind of is now. Sorry. Watch the CW app if you didn't like that. So yeah, I don't know, man. The whole they're taking the whole thing really seriously, and I kind of dig that. Like Eddie lost his first match.
Yeah.
But I guess if he ultimately wins all of his other matches and makes it to the finals, he can still retain
his titles,
his title and absorb the third title.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I was thinking about it, when the field was unveiled, we kind of gave picks to who we thought could win.
Mm-hmm.
It seems likely, although I guess it's not a certainty, that Hangman Page might at some point cost Swerve a chance to advance to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to have a third match between the two of them.
So my guess on that is Tony
that'd be twice that Page cost Swerve a chance at the championship.
Tony's been really adamant. In fact, he used, what did he say?
Oh, that's true. There's no outside interference for these matches. Apologies.
Nobody can be down there.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot about that.
And even sort of kind of out of character, he said, put your money where your mouth is. If you want a sports feel, that's what this is going to be. Yeah. And so I love that, like, we're going to have seemingly clean finishes.
Although if we get a ref bump.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are we going to get a low blow in this thing? Wouldn't it be great if they just booked a fucking tournament where everybody it was a clean win or a loss? Sack up. You want to put money where your mouth is? Sack up and give us nothing but clean wins and losses.
Oh, that'd be great.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be great.
That match, I'll say the match between Eddie and Big Brody King this week was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Claudio versus
really good stuff.
Daniel Garcia was really good too.
And I don't mean to, dude. And I honestly, I don't mean to like sort of,
Oh yeah, Review King says Jay White low blowed Roosh to get the win. That's right.
Oh, that already happened. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, that's right, because Roosh mentioned the cheating stuff. Yeah, okay. Humble85 here in YouTube chat says AEW has too many titles and tournaments. It doesn't make any of it feel special. I kind of feel like, in a weird broad sense, and I have no idea how to fix that. That's sort of the thing about AEW, is that they throw so much shit at you. It makes nothing feel like really, like, MJF has really done his best to make his stories feel special. Hangman Swerve, you can tell Swerve, whatever that dude does, taking the time out to go and film that stuff at Nick Wayne's, academy or whatever, his house.
Yeah.
That he goes out of his way to make stuff feel special. I feel like the impetus is on the wrestlers to do that, and really it should be a company thing to try to make everything feel special and not just throw a bunch of shit at us.
Yeah.
And just saying it's special doesn't make it special.
Exactly. It doesn't. And it would be nice if that is the situation where the responsibility for making things feel special or huge or monumental is on the wrestlers, as opposed to the focus of the company.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because if they want the Continental Classic to be seen as one of, if not the most prestigious tournaments in wrestling,
mm-hmm.
It's one thing to say you want to do that and to put a bunch of titles on the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, like, book it in a way, and we're 2 days into it. We're 2 shows into it. It's not to say they can't do this at some point. You got to book it in a way and put the focus on it and hype it up in a way that makes it feel special.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell us it's special. Show us it's special.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what?
Like,
they
what is
done?
apart from this Triple Crown Championship being you can defend it anywhere. Like, I feel like they got to go in more detail about why that's special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because there's already so much crossover between, especially Ring of Honor and AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that doesn't seem like a huge deal.
You know what they could have done instead of calling it the
Sorry, let me get this point across.
Yeah,
so already got Mox wrestling Ospreay for this new title in at Wrestle Kingdom. So even crossover between New Japan and AEW doesn't really feel that special.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they call it like the International Classic, and you put the international title, you threw that into the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know about the whole Triple Crown thing. I don't know. I just, if number one, Ring of Honor is part of AEW. It's it's like, let's not act like he came out on TV and said, I bought this shit. Let's not act like it's a different promotion, because it's not.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. Again, I just feel like as with a lot of things AEW, as a lot of people predicted and it's sort of been confirmed, 5 hours of main roster TV is just like too much. I just think it's too much.
It is too much.
You gotta narrow your shit down, man. But I don't know. They're gonna, they just want to get that big TV deal, and
yeah. It would have been interesting, and maybe the timing just didn't work out for it. If they had this tournament, call it the Continental Classic, whatever you want to call it, and the winner gets title shot at, say, All In. All In right now is shaping up to be more or less AEW's WrestleMania, because it seems like it's always going to be at Wembley Stadium. It's their annual stadium show.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got a guaranteed title opportunity at the largest show of the year.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that makes it feel special.
That's
in my mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But then you'd have to do this tournament at right after, either culminating at Double or Nothing, or do it right afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The fact that we're still sort of like, okay, what's their WrestleMania? I'm sorry, but like, and I'm not. WWE over decades really did develop a terrific template for how to do weekly television with monthly pay-per-views, and some of those pay-per-views are a really big deal. Yep. And I know AEW, they wanted to do their own thing as an alternative. Somebody had this exactly right on Twitter, is when they said, and I don't know who it was. It wasn't one of the normal sites or one of the normal accounts. AEW exists because people wanted an alternative to WWE. Well, they actually just wanted WWE to be really good. And now we have that. And now AEW's got to figure out what they're going to be, because people don't really want an alternative to WWE anymore. So you got to figure out what you're going to be. And again, it's a really weird, nebulous thing, right? Like, what's your identity? Okay, well, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
So, and then people, early AEW is where it's at. Well, what does that even mean? Because 6 months into they had to force their hand because of pandemic and do a bunch of weird shit. They were doing musical acts, which I thought was awesome. The MJF Jericho stuff, but that's a weird thing. You can't do that every week. No. So I don't know. I don't know that they can. I don't know. They just got to figure their stuff out.
I know. Well, it's not just WWE that kind of built their annual schedule around WrestleMania. New Japan has Wrestle Kingdom. AAA has Triple Mania. Like, it's a fairly common trope in the world of professional wrestling to have one huge show every year. That's in a lot of respects, hasn't always been this way, but in a lot of respects, WWE WrestleMania is like the season finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you always have the Raw, historically. Again, Raw after Mania, it felt like a reset. Mm-hmm. People debuting, new stories starting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's from a dramatic standpoint, it's nice to have your stories build to a crescendo and for them to come to some measure of conclusion at a major event like a WrestleMania, like a Wrestle Kingdom, like a Triple Mania.
Yeah.
And at various points throughout AEW's history, you can say, well, Double or Nothing's a WrestleMania. Well, All Out's the WrestleMania. Now maybe it's All In because it's the huge stadium show.
Mm-hmm.
But just in terms of telling stories, developing stories, having a point on the calendar where you say, okay, we have to start hitting our crescendo now to build up to our conclusion at whatever that show is.
Mm-hmm.
I think might benefit them in terms of forcing them to put some sort of structure to what they're doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which I think would help.
If you start a story, I don't know, in the late winter, early spring, well, hey, if the story's got some legs and it's interesting and people are into it, natural place concluded. You got All In.
Well, you got, on Dynamite this past week, I do remember this, Samoa Joe came out and they set up Samoa Joe versus MJF for World's End, right? WWE way of doing things. You got a pay-per-view coming up in a month. We set the match up for that pay-per-view. That's just a good template. It works. Yeah. There's a reason why that language has landed WWE where it's been at. So yeah, I don't know. That's sort of a long way. Once again, trying to figure out what the hell's going to fix AEW, or get it to where it is an actual, if people don't like, for example, how corporate or how pristine WWE looks, I mean, there's, you and I, of course, we were there for the Attitude Era of WWE, where it just was cool and it was gritty and it was visceral and it was grungy and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's not WWE anymore. It could be. Triple H loves his metal stuff, but I kind of feel like it's always going to have that gloss to it.
Yeah.
Is there a segment of fans that would, go to AEW if you sort of kept, okay, we're going to have the really good wrestling and we're going to dirty things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're going to tell some good stories. I still kind of feel like they just need to maximize the potential of their talents. You only do that through stories. That's
I know. And looking at what happened on Collision outside the opening and match in the main event, none of the matches in between really mattered.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that the outcomes were all a foregone conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a whole lot of drama involved about who was going to win, who was going to lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't think any of them unto themselves necessarily advanced story. Now, things that might have happened after the match, that's something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
But the matches themselves is kind of like, all right, like we know House of Black's going to beat Commander and Gravity. We know Killswitch is going to beat the boys in a handicap match. We know Julia Hart in her first defense of the TBS Championship is going to beat Lady Frost.
Mm-hmm.
We know FTR is going to beat the Righteous.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's just not a whole lot of drama involved in any of those bouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Therefore, they don't feel as meaningful as some matches that the outcome's in doubt, or it's going to advance story.
Do you think, let me ask you this, given that Tony Khan understood completely what he was up against with Survivor Series, I mean, you got to show up, right? Because you're right. Like, I'm looking at these matches, and besides, Claudio Castagnoli or Cesaro versus Daniel Garcia, which Garcia had a really good, did they air it on the show, or did I watch this on digital? Garcia had a killer promo.
Oh, that promo backstage,
the backstage promo. Yeah, that I guess that was just on. Maybe they'll run that on Dynamite. I don't know. It was really good. And then Keith Lee, we're going to talk about what he wants to do next and who he's talking about. But yeah, it kicked off with promos from Eddie Kingston, Brody King, Daniel Garcia. They all had show promos because they're all in the Continental Classic. I love Kingston. It's always so like, all right, what do you want from me? I got better stuff to do. What do you want from me? What do you want? Okay, you want me to say I want this to be the most important tournament in America? They're done. Okay, are we done? Are we good here? I like that shit.
Yeah, everything's an inconvenience for Eddie.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's always got better things to do.
Yep.
Claudio Castagnoli versus Daniel Garcia was first. And again, it feels like Garcia is definitely inching back towards professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. He's in a tight spot because people seem to like the dance. But, he's also going towards professional wrestler. I'm not sure how those are going to square with each other.
I think he could still be professional wrestler and still.
You think so? I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like
a taunt at this point. That's just a taunt. He's not cheating. He's not doing any of the stuff that he might have learned under Chris Jericho's learning tree.
I mean, look at Daniel. What kind of taunt does Daniel Bryan do? Or Bryan Danielson. So I don't want to call him Daniel Bryan.
He just does this.
Doesn't do that anymore, though. As Bryan Danielson, he doesn't do that shit. His taunt is just screaming, "I'm going to kick your fucking."
Yeah,
yeah, that ain't no hip thrusting, but hey, maybe he'll be able to square it. Maybe you're right. So anyway,
I do like the beginning of his dance. It's like he's about to throw hands though.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's like an old time boxing.
He puts his fists up like he's going to throw, and then he starts gyrating his hips.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that's a good point. Of course, leading into Collision, so on my DVR, I guess, we saw the tail end of Rampage where Katsuyori Shibata dropped his pure title against Wheeler Yuta. Those Yuta heads feasting these days. Shibata's back off to Japan apparently. I didn't know the reason for it, but he's out of here.
Yeah, I don't recall either. Fightful, I think, had something about it. I can look into that real quick.
So anyways, really good stuff. Just wrestle stuff. Claudio ends up getting a win with a Ricola bomb. And and then Wheeler comes down to the ring, raises Claudio's arm. Then we get an Eddie Kingston promo. He says, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He's got to do this. He's got to do his promo. He says, you want me to explain to you how much and how important the tournament is? I put 2 championships on the line in this tournament, the Ring of Honor World title that my friends and my mentors have held. I put up the New Japan Strong title I ever wanted to do in this business, wrestle in Japan. And now I did that, and I win a championship there. I put on the line because I want to make this tournament the most prestigious tournament in America. So is that good enough for you guys? Because I got to go get ready to beat up Brody King. I got to get ready. I want to do this right now. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wrapped up. Time to go hit Burger King, get a long boy chicken sandwich.
And he's talking to somebody in production behind the camera. How much time do I got left to film?
Yeah.
All that Fightful reported was that Shibata had to go back to Japan.
Okay. All right. He had to split town.
Then we got the former Luchasaurus, now dubbed Killswitch. Step up or step down, that name, Steve?
So, I think it's a step up if he would have changed the mask.
If he's still a dinosaur, Killswitch doesn't make much sense.
Right, exactly.
What should the mask be now? Should it be a giant light switch?
Yeah, a giant light switch. That's exactly what I thought. You and I are on the same page.
And then it's down. It just says, like, down, it says life.
Yeah.
Or live.
Right.
And up, it says kill. So when he's in the match, he wrestles. When he's ready to finish, he flips the switch to kill. And then he hits the finish, which apparently is just a clothesline now.
No,
part of this match.
Yeah.
So he wins with a massive lariat to the back of the head of one of the members of the boys, follows with a choke slam on a chair, picks up both of the boys, and Edge's music hits. Sorry, Adam Copeland's music hits. So
on this day,
Killswitch is focused on the ramp, but edgy Adam Copeland sneaks in the ring and blasts Killswitch. It's going to take a while for me to get used to saying that.
He's wearing a cut, too.
Yeah, he was wearing a cut with a chair, rips off a chunk of the chair, puts Killswitch in the deal. We got to see the deal.
We got to see the deal. That was nice.
Best thing edgy Adam Copeland does. Follows with a concerto. So Copeland goes and poses on the corner, and Killswitch slowly starts. Yeah, he does Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Slowly starts to get to his knees. So Edge comes over, hits him with a stomp on the chair, and follows with another concerto.
So the one thing on Dynamite that everybody was talking about was the segment with Christian Cage and Nick Wayne.
And Nick Wayne's mom, right?
And Nick Wayne's mom. And so they were going to concerto her, I think.
Yeah.
And then edgy Adam Copeland makes the save. And instead, he concertos the living shit out of Nick Wayne in front of his mom.
Yeah.
Babyface move or no?
I mean, even if Nick Wayne is a heel, that's
just turned 18, mind you.
Yeah. I mean, that's his mom in the ring, and this whatever feelings his mother has about his heel turn, that's still her son.
Right.
I don't think I'd be like, all right, cool, good job, babyface, edgy Adam Copeland.
She came down to like try to appeal to her son. Come back, trying to get him back from the dark side. And then edgy Adam Copeland, arguably sending him further down to the dark side.
I know.
Yeah.
And then we got, speaking of edgy Adam Copeland, we got an interview with him.
This is a good point. Hold on a second. Maggie makes a good point. Says Edge cared about Dominic and beat. What is with Edge wanting to beat up on children? My goodness, man. This dude just turned 18. He just turned 18 and you're beating the shit out of him. Same with Dominic. He's barely whatever he is.
I think Dom's in his 20s.
And that's the thing. When you've known a kid since he was a little kid, even when you see him in his 20s, you still sort of think of him. It's like, oh, man, I remember when you were his kid. I want to beat the shit out of you. What is this guy doing?
I don't know what edgy Adam Copeland's problem is.
I don't know does he live in Canada or what?
No, I think he lives in the States. I think he lives in North Carolina or something.
Child Protective Services sent him right over. That's what I would do. This guy clearly has an agenda, an anti-child agenda, Larson.
Wow. Well, he has a promo, an interview next. Well, basically a promo because Lexi's waiting backstage for him. And he's like, Lexi, I like you. You should go now. And he says, you want to know what I have to say? Sure, I'll talk straight down the barrel to you, Jay. Or should I call you Christian Cage? Or better yet, should I call you the Patriarch? All of it. What just happened to Nick Wayne on Wednesday, what just happened to Killswitch, it's on you. It's your fault, and it's all because of your insecurities. Because when I got here, you were afraid people were going to compare you to me some more. You were going to be second fiddle. You're going to be riding my coattails again. I could care less about any of that. I told you at the beginning of our careers that our friendship was more important than anything this industry could throw at us, but you couldn't get past your own ego, could you? The night I got here, you're about to concerto Sting. Wednesday, you're about to have Killswitch concerto Nick Wayne's mom. You weren't too subtle about saying what you think about me and the chances of us teaming up again. You put Beth's name, my children's name, in your stupid little mouth. You know I got a short fuse. You kept trying to light it. I wouldn't let you until you said the one thing. You said you were going to break my neck, put me in a wheelchair, drooling all over myself. My children looked at me and said, my dad used to be something. So now you're just not threatening me. You're not just threatening my future. You're threatening theirs. So now I'm hunting you. I already got 2 heads on my wall. Go to the hospital. Go ask your prodigy what happens when I snap. Ask Killswitch what happens when I snap if he could speak yet. I'm going to change your soul. I'm going to cave your face in. When you go to bed at night and close your eyes, these are the eyes you're going to picture and the man behind him and the pain I'm going to bring into your world. I'm going for your TNT title because it's the most important thing in your world. Secondary to me, man, would have put that title over Edge. But I'm challenging you, Dynamite, December 6th in Montreal. I'm going to go to places that you can't and you've never been because you don't have that dog in you. I'm going to take your TNT title.
Maybe if I dribble the ball between his legs in a reverse layup, he'll have the dog.
And then laugh. No, it's the laugh.
The laugh. So the other thing I wanted to bring up while we're talking about little shits, Jack Perry. Did you see the clip of the devil laughing?
Yeah.
Clearly it's Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Now, it could be like, a misdirection thing where he's still part of Cole's.
In that same clip, you see Adam Cole reach into his pocket.
Yeah. So
right before the devil footage goes up.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think it's cool. But if it's just Jack Perry, they better be damn good. They better do something really cool with him. Anyways, my God, what was going on in this next match? Dude, I'm sorry, but people talk in our comments. There was a couple of them. A lot of them were on board with us when we did our star ratings for Survivor Series.
Yeah, and
we mentioned the women's WarGames match as being like the best match on the card, kind of far and away, right?
Yeah,
phenomenal match.
Fantastic.
A couple comments, like every time when we give a good rating to a women's division match, I don't know, there are a bunch of botches and missed spots, even though they couldn't name any of them, right?
I know.
Not a person. But maybe, I don't know, probably all over Twitter. But I don't know. This match was a goddamn mess. It was House of Black versus Commander and Gravity. And I don't know if there was like a communication issue between these guys, but I swear to God, this match was messy as fuck.
It was messy in points. It definitely was. In the end, though, House of Black gets the win. Malachi hits Commander with a back elbow. And Buddy's about to hit him with something. And then Malachi's like, wait, hold on.
Wait.
And so he takes a seat. And he starts waving Commander towards him. And so Commander starts crawling towards Malachi. And while he's doing that, Buddy, bang, stomp out of nowhere to get the win.
Yeah. Boy, this match was a mess. After that, we had Action Andrade and Darius Martin in a promo. This was cool. He says, we've been teaming for 8 months, and it's been great. Darius says, we built some great chemistry, and the camera widens out, and Dante's there. They all pound fists, and he looks in the camera and says, I'm back, baby. He didn't say
It's good
baby.
to see Dante back, because he's fantastic.
It is, man. What a bummer for him. Boy, that was rough. And he's so much fun, and his character was starting to develop before he got injured, too.
Both Dante and Darius have had some really bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Darius has been hurt twice, I think, since coming to AEW, and now Dante's been out 8 months. So it's good to see him back, and hopefully, they can have a run of much better luck and showcase what they can do, because they're pretty awesome.
Oh, man, we are at, dude, I just want to pause really quick. We're at 480 likes right now. Nice. We have 1,400 people watching. All we need are 20 more likes to get to 500 by the end of the episode today. I got a good feeling about that one, Larson.
I hope you're right. I hope your instincts are true here, Steve.
I hope they are. My instincts, they rarely fail me.
Next, we have Julia Hart defending the TBS title against Lady Frost. I hope we see more Lady Frost on AEW TV.
Me too. Isn't she so much fun?
She is. She really is. Julia gets the win here. So Lady Frost hits her with the clothesline. Julia pops back up and hits Lady Frost with an STO, follows with a sliding clothesline, then locks on Heartless to get the win.
Yeah, that was good stuff. I agree, man. I'd love to see more Lady Frost there in AEW. After that, I mean, more women on the show would be great too, to be honest.
Yeah.
After that, Powerhouse Hobbs and Don Callis had an interview. Lexi talks about Hobbs putting Paul away. I do appreciate that they're not focusing at all on Hobbs being all taped up to the ropes in that match, and they're just talking about, the good that he did. She talks about Hobbs putting Paul White through the windshield of a car, and Callis says, "Another tombstone. Sorry to interrupt you, Will. You've had a lot of tombstones in your life, but I love the fact that we're embracing it. I love the fact that we're adding to it. I've got a 173 IQ. I'm a member of Mensa, and I've had several advanced degrees. And for the life of me, can't figure out the calculation that got Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, the Golden Jets, a tag team title shot." I'm like, yeah, Don, I don't really get that either.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
They were together for one match. Can't figure out how to make that calculation when last time Hobbs got his hands on Jericho and Omega, he broke them and sent them to the hospital. As Will would say, anyone can get got. And Kenny and Chris, we're going to make a point of showing you that we don't need two guys. This is a one-man team, a one-man wrecking crew. Tell him, Hobbs. And Hobbs says, once again, it's simple. I'm big, I'm black, and I'm jacked, and anybody can get it. They can get it.
It. As much as I'd love to see Powerhouse Hobbs beat Jericho and Kenny Omega by himself, I have a feeling it's not going to happen.
That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome.
That's the idea here, huh? Handicap match.
Yeah.
Even, I don't want to see it, but even in a loss, that could make Hobbs look really good.
It could.
If they have to squeak out a win, because you're right, I don't see that happen. I'm trying to be realistic here, people.
Yeah, I know.
If
ideally, I want to see it. Realistically, I don't think it's going to happen.
Like, ideally, he stacks them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, why would you debut a new shirt that says all that if you're not going to stack two dudes?
And then he challenges Ricky Starks and Big Bill for those tag titles.
How about this? You seen the movie Human Centipede?
I haven't, but I know about it.
You know how they taped him up to like the ropes? He should get his pound of flesh, right? And he makes them into a human centipede.
There we go.
That movie was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was all sorts of awesome, though.
I've heard both those things, yes. Disgusting, but
he's like, I've been watching this movie called Human Centipede. And what you do is, it's like kind of what MJF did to the Righteous. That's kind of a Human Centipede.
But made it permanent.
Right, yeah. He surgically altered them.
Exactly. Next, speaking of the Righteous, they lost to FTR next.
Righteous. Well, that's two guys on two. They couldn't even beat one guy.
I know. So the Righteous are looking for assisted sliced bread. Cash escapes that, tags in Dax. They hit a shatter machine to get the win. And then you hear Malachi off camera say, "If we would come to the ring right now, there would be no one to come in to save you." And the camera finds Malachi in the crowd. He says, "No Cesaro, no Yuta, no CM Punk." The crowd went, "Oh." He continues, "See, the misconception is that this place is not the brotherhood that you think it is." The lights come down. And they come back up. And FTR's in the ring, looking all around, ready to fight. They just hear Malachi laugh, like a disembodied laugh. And that was it. That was the end of the segment.
Mm-hmm. Man, I really miss that place. No CM Punk here because he's going to be over there.
Maybe soon I'll be over there.
Maybe if I give TK a black mass, I can be let out of my contract too. Anyways, after that, this was probably the highlight of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the Big Bill Bill Big talking about the Chicago Bulls. So Shivani's like, hey, so is Starks and Bill Big. And Starks is like, explain yourselves. Your attack on Jericho. And Starks says, honestly, we thought there'd be more of a fight from Chris, but my man didn't even lose our glasses. That's the crazy part about it. I'm not surprised the clout vampire has leached back onto me like a moth to a flame.
Is that more evidence that Ricky Starks might watch the show? He didn't say momentum vampire, but clout vampire.
Yeah, if he drops any sort of what we do in the shadows reference, double confirmed. I'm telling you, man. So. Like we've compared his filmmaking abilities to Kubrick.
I know.
Come on, he's got to be a fan. Anyways, he says, I'm one half of the AEW Tag Champions. Of course, he's going to come back around and try to bite this beautiful neck of mine, but that's not going to happen. And he brought a friend, Bill says, and these two guys call themselves the Golden Jets. Well, to us, you look more like the Golden Girls. Stark's like, I like that. They traveled up and down the road and back again. But the thing is this. Bill and I, yeah, that was good. Bill and I don't even know each other that well. Bill, when's my birthday? No idea. And Stark says, exactly. But what I do know is that you two aren't built like him. That was their chemistry is so fucking good, and I'm so glad they put them together.
Same.
So Bill says, 4 years ago, when I was in and out of emergency rooms having seizures from alcohol withdrawal, I always knew I'd make it back to the top. When I couldn't get out of bed and I was at the lowest point of my entire life, I always knew I'd make it back to the top. And when nobody believed in me and everyone counted me out when they said, he's washed, he's done, he'll never make it back to wrestling, I always knew I'd make it back to the top. And standing in this ring with this guy and these titles, I'd say I was right. I made it back to the top. Now, Chris and Kenny, we know all about you. We're aware of all the accolades. You two are two of the best ever to do this. But I don't think you two realize what you're dealing with. We are angry. We are motivated. We're not just going to beat the living hell out of you. We're going to embarrass you. Kareem and Magic, Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen, or Pippen and Jordan. But when I look at you two, I don't see Jordan. I don't see Pippen. I don't see Kukoc. I don't see Longley. I don't see Rodman. I don't see Harper. And I sure as hell don't see Bill Weddington, who, by the way, went to high school with my mom.
Oh.
When I look at you two, all I see are two dudes who hand Michael Jordan his Bazooka Joe bubblegum before starting lineups are introduced.
I'm kind of bummed out that Bill didn't mention Chicago Bulls legend Judd Buechler, who had one of the most entertaining in-game dunks I've ever seen, where it was garbage time. He got some playing time, and he dunked on somebody and let out the loudest, that you could hear clear as day on the TV broadcast. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. So Stark says, I don't even watch basketball, and I know those guys are all really good. And I know two things. One guy tells everyone that he's the best, and one guy actually is. After you're done with me and Bill Big, I'm going to let you know one thing. Ricky likes his gum minty fresh, and Bill Big likes his Big Red. It was a good promo from these two. I really liked them. Yeah,
it was a good promo. Then we got a video package highlighting Gold League action on Dynamite, with some little promo bits interspersed with Swerve and Mark Briscoe and Jay White and Mox too. And then we got Keith Lee taking on Lee Moriarty. So Collision was in Pittsburgh. That's where Lee Moriarty's from. Mm-hmm. Bit of a short bout. Lee Moriarty got some of his stuff in the end, though. He's looking for a springboard. Keith Lee hits him with a shoulder tackle midair, follows with his finisher to get the win. Then we have a Keith Lee interview.
Yeah.
So Lexi asks him, what's next? And Lee says, Keith Lee says, initially I plan to come back here and tell you all about how good Lee Moriarty is, how talented Lee Moriarty is, how great Tyga Style is. He is good. He is that damn good. I'll give you that. But he's no Keith Lee. Matter of fact, I'm tired of the misrepresentation, the mistreatment, the lack of opportunity given to me. So I'm here now to take it. And when I say take it, that means him. You know you are who I want, and you know who you are. I'll see you soon. And so commentary immediately speculated, it's Shane Taylor.
I think I don't know if he jumped the gun, but I think Nigel said, "Oh, Shane Taylor," because he's in a feud with him right now.
Yeah.
But then commentary, like the other two dudes were like, "Who's he talking about? Who's this mystery man?" So, I mean, yeah, Shane Taylor would make sense because he's literally in a feud with him.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why he'd have to be so oblique about who it is.
Which makes me think he's talking about somebody else, which would mean, Larson, that once again, Keith Lee was in a feud that they didn't pay off. Right?
Well, here's the thing. What if the him he's talking about is Swerve?
I don't know. Yeah, like, how about this? Finish one feud first, and then let him be oblique. Say, I'm done with this chapter with Shane Taylor. I'm done with that. Now I can be mysterious about who I'm going after next.
Yeah.
That's the kind of details that I'm talking about, because right now it's again ambiguous, but not kind of in a good way, because like he's supposed to be in a feud where he's supposed to have a match with a guy to blow it off.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I don't know. Yeah, I hope it's Shane Taylor, but they've been very open about like, why are you being mysterious about who it is? We've seen you in promos with the guy. So yeah, it's that kind of stuff that's just sort of like, okay,
Yeah, no. Shane Taylor's been calling him out for months.
Right, yeah.
Anyways, we had our main event. Brody King taking on Eddie Kingston. Hard-hitting bout, tons of chops.
Ooh, this was a good one. It was good.
It was good. In the end, Eddie surprisingly somewhat took the L here. He hits Brody with a ton of suplexes. Brody kicks out of that. Eddie, I think he's looking for an Emerald Flosion. Brody blocks. It's a pile driver. Eddie kicks out of that. Brody looks for a clothesline. Eddie ducks, hits the second back fist of the match, but then Brody just bounces off the ropes, hits Eddie with a boot, and then a Gonzo bomb to get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, really, really good stuff. I wonder if they had Eddie take this loss so early. Like now he's got to really, if he wants to keep these titles, he's got to
fight from underneath now. Yeah, he's an underdog. Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to maybe there was like, hey, our messaging was kind of crap. We want to show that he can lose this, but still, like, he's going to be holding his titles until the entire thing is done.
But his titles are on the podium with the new belt.
Oh,
Didn't he carry his titles?
Yeah. He just sort of surrendered them for this tournament. Well, that's kind of crap. But if I'm Eddie, I'm carrying these until they're not mine anymore.
I know. That's what I would think, too.
We also had a SmackDown. Let's see how many likes we're at now. 500. Whoa! We're less than 20 away from 600.
I know.
Gosh.
Oh, look at this. People. We're 301 subs away from 198,891.
Oh man!
If we get 2 more subs.
Oh wow!
During the course of the show, we under 300. Under 300. I think we might have gotten at least one more.
Big push. Big push.
We got a super chat here from Hidden Network. Says CM Punk versus Dirty Dom. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, there's a lot in WWE right now for CM Punk to do. My number one though, Logan Paul. We should do like a Friendo Club video or something on that.
Well, we actually did do a count out of me back when CM Punk got fired about potential WWE matches he could have. We did that already.
Was Logan Paul on there?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I feel like...
You want to take it down and do it over?
Yeah, probably.
We got a super chat here from Mordecai. It says, honestly, whenever Edge plays a face, it's always kind of like tweener anti-hero, which is why whenever he's heel, it's so good because he doesn't hold back.
It's kind of the tweener anti, which is why... Yeah. Last time he was a heel, it didn't work, though.
No, that was Judgment Day.
Like, the thing is, let's be completely honest, all right? I like to try to keep things honest around here, Larson.
Sure.
Unless Edge is such a heel that he's pinning people while humping them, that ain't going to work. Yeah, I'm not interested. Because, like, the one where I think it was Trish Stratus, he pinned her, and it was super vulgar. That's not appropriate for today.
No.
But pretty damn good heel work, if you ask me.
All right.
Also super inappropriate, man. You can't do that. It is super inappropriate, Can't do that at all.
No.
Oh, man.
No. We won't go to SmackDown into a whole lot of detail because it's the show it was building up to it happened. That was WarGames.
Dude, this was a very go-home episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it was all focusing on can Charlotte and Becky coexist? And now after watching SmackDown after Survivor Series, what a dummy I am for picking Damage Control to win WarGames. It was plainly obvious from the SmackDown that can they coexist storyline. Of course they can, based on WWE tropes. Of course they'll end up being able to coexist at WarGames.
I know. The go-home math on that. I was like, yeah, I don't like that go-home math, but maybe. I think probably just because I really like Damage Control. They're like, boy, they're really setting up some cool factions, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really like their factions. Yeah, no, I feel you on that one. The highlight of the show clearly was the Grayson Waller effect.
Yes. Well, Kevin Owens on the Grayson Waller effect.
Right. He's great. Austin Theory is made better by Grayson Waller because let's be honest, at this point, Austin Theory is Grayson Waller's young boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
virtually.
He's his second. Let's not get this mixed up. He's the lieutenant here. Grayson Waller is awesome, and Kevin Owens having to deal with these clowns is absolutely amazing. It's so
pretty
good.
entertaining. It's pretty damn entertaining. It is. It really is. I guess we just jump into it.
Sure.
The show opens with Becky, Bianca, Charlotte, Shotzi coming to the ring. Becky says, "Man's finally come back around to SmackDown." A lot of people are wondering why I agreed to team with who I'm teaming with, but when it comes to a chance to smack the heads of Damage Control, the answer is always yes. So Bianca says, "Now that we have a 4-member team and a solid WarGames, the perfect match for us to get our payback. Damage Control has been going low for quite some time, but at WarGames, when Damage Control goes low, we're going to war." Shotzi says, "Oh, I could barely contain myself. Thinking about all the carnage. Damage Control humiliated me when they cut my hair, but what they did was change me, made me stronger, unpredictable, and unbreakable. I can't wait to unleash my frenzy of madness on them." And Charlotte just goes, yeah, what Shotzi said at WarGames is a new beginning for us. Well, she says new beginning, and she kind of looks at Becky and says, "For all of us." But it's the end of Damage Control. So Bayley interrupts and says, "I never thought I'd see the day that Becky and Charlotte would stand next to each other, fighting the good fight together. I've known them the longest." And she would tell, what, I'd always go on road trips with them separately, and they'd always talk trash about the other one behind their back. Says, "But I get it. Two egos fighting to be at the top. Am I the only one who realizes that being a mom has made the man soft? You were the last pick, the last resort. You're probably picked last like you were at school. WarGames is one of the most brutal matches of all time. We all know the only team walking out of WarGames is Damage Control." Oh, sorry, she says the only team walking into WarGames is Damage Control. And Charlotte asks Bayley, "Where's the rest of your team at? I don't see them out here. Where are they?" And Becky says, "Well, I didn't come here to fight. Sorry, I didn't come here to talk. I came here looking for a fight. So if any 2 members of Damage Control want to take on Charlotte and I in the main event, let's do it." And Bayley says, "Fine, that's exactly what I wanted."
Yeah, that was good stuff. We've got a super chat here from Akon. This is good. He says, "Keith Lee is clearly talking about Nakamura, and Nakamura is talking about Keith Lee." And then he says, "WWE wins again."
Wow, I hadn't thought about that.
After that, we have a commercial, and then we get Damage Control backstage. Bayley walks in, says, "Team Bianca is going to explode tonight. Becky and Charlotte can't coexist. So who wants to take them on? Asuka and Kyrie?" And they're all like sort of hemming and hawing. And Dakota says, "Well, Bayley, you should wrestle tonight, and you're going to team with Asuka." So Bayley doesn't quite have the control in Damage Control.
Yep.
After that, we had Judgment Day versus the Street Profits. Of course, Street Profits got this title opportunity on, I think, Raw, wasn't it? Something like that. They had like four-way.
Yeah, it was a four-way match.
Yeah. So Lashley and B-Fab are watching backstage. In the end, much to the chagrin of Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor hits a coup de grace on Ford. Was it Ford?
Yeah,
I don't think it was Ford. To get the win here. So Judgment Day retained.
After Rhea interfered, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another super chat here from John E.G. Says, "Hey guys, I know you've said that Seth versus Punk doesn't need the World Heavyweight Championship, but does the title need this feud? I feel like having the World Heavyweight Championship title in this would add a lot to its short legacy." That's not a terrible point. If you want that title to be prime real estate, do you need the top prime names to be feuding over it?
And of course, CM Punk always likes to say he's the best in the world, and you kind of need something to showcase that you are best in the world, which is
the word
championship.
world in it. Yeah.
Update, Steve, 198,601 subs, 290 away.
Sorry, I thought that was the Collision number.
Oh.
I was like, you're right. It was under 200,000.
I don't know if we're getting that today because we just got the Dynamite number today.
We just got the Dynamite numbers? Oh,
yeah, because it's the holidays,
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. 198,601. Yeah, what are we looking for? 891. Yeah. Oh man.
198, 891. Oh, thank you so much, everybody.
Sorry, that's fucking funny to me. I thought it was a Collision number.
Dynamite did 845,000.
That's good. Good for them. Good for them. Still beating NXT. Typical. Right on. AEW wins again.
Wins again. Next, we had Becky, Shotzi, Bianca, Charlotte backstage. Charlotte's like, "I talked to Pierce. We're good to go for the match tonight." And Becky's like, "Hold up. Isn't that my role here? Am I supposed to be the one that goes and gets this match booked? I'm the one that challenged." Issue the challenge. Bianca's like, "All right, chill out." They don't chill out. Charlotte and Becky start arguing back and forth. Bianca tries to get him to calm down. Says, "Hold up. I'm the one that told Charlotte to call you. So it's on me that you're here. This is me." And Becky says, "Well, I didn't come here to socialize. I came here to fight. So I'm going to go get ready for a fight." And so she leaves.
Yeah, I don't know what Becky's deal is. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Grumpa grumps. Needs to get some food in her. Maybe I don't know what the deal is.
Hangry, perhaps.
Hangry. She needs a Snickers.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we had a Dragon Lee video package. He's cool. Took that big L to Santos. Then we had the Grayson Waller effect. Larson, boom, 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 boom. So Waller welcomes the crowd to the show, introduces Kevin Owens as his guest, but it's Austin Theory rocking a Kevin Owens shirt and Kevin Owens shorts. Comes to the ring. Kevin Owens music hits again. This time it's Kevin Owens. He's like, what are you guys doing? You announced me as your guest on the Waller effect. Now I'm here. I was suspended. The suspension ended today, which I thought was why you announced me as your guest. I'll come out here and talk our differences out, share some grilled cheese at catering. And Waller's like, no. Theory was supposed to come out, and we're going to make fun of you. And Owens like, well, joke's on you, buddy. I've never looked better. He says, by the way, where'd you get those shorts, Theory? Did you go through my bag, you little creep? You know what I should do? I should punch you both in the face right now again, like I did before. And Waller and Austin are kind of freaking out a bit, and he says, you cost me a match against LA Knight last week. And Kevin Owens interrupts. He's like, am I the only one who knows how things work around here? You know what happens when you keep saying somebody's name? You said it like twice now. And then Austin Theory's like, oh, I think he's talking about LA Knight. Sure enough, LA Knight's music hits. Somebody on Twitter called Kevin Owens the Deadpool of the WWE, and that's perfect. That's exactly what he is, and it's great. It's awesome.
It is. It is pretty great. So LA Knight, comes out and says, let me talk to you. Did you boys step in it tonight? Yeah. Kevin Owens tried to warn you, but you just couldn't help yourself. You thought you'd come out here and talk trash about me or him. You thought I wouldn't be here or he wouldn't be here. You got caught. So I figured I'd go ahead and let him punch you both at the same time, but then you start talking about me and you didn't stop. So I figured if you didn't stop talking about me, that means you got caught again. Well, I'll put it to you like this. You talk about every excuse why you couldn't beat me, but it wouldn't make a difference if Kevin Owens was here, if your friend A-Town Clan was here. Every single minute of every single day you're losing to me is just a fact of life. Waller's like, I could beat LA Knight. And Kevin Owens says, I don't agree with him, like about LA Knight, on much, but he's right about this. And Waller says to Owens, your opinion doesn't matter. And Owens says, I'm the guest on your show. My opinion is the only one that matters, you idiot. And then Waller's like to Austin Theory, we should go punch them. But they don't. They're like hemming and hawing about it. And then Kevin Owens says, hey, do you want to punch them first? LA Knight says, yeah. And go over and punch him and knock him out of the ring and start trashing the set for a Waller effect. That leads to match.
Yeah, that was good stuff. I'm trying to make heads or tails that Maggie dropped the overnights here for the AEW shows. Rampage, what's P2?
That's the hours, isn't it?
233,000.
Maybe not. Collision 294.
What is this 83,000? Is that?
That's the demo number. That's the actual viewership.
Oh, that's the demo number. Okay. All right. Looks like it might have almost gotten 300,000 then.
Oh, okay. That's good then. That's good against Survivor.
294. Okay, there you go. Anyways, so we had, like you said, Mitch, Kevin Owens, and LA Knight, versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So LA Knight's coming off of a Roman Reigns title match, sort of cooling down now before they give him whatever they're going to give him.
Yeah.
He seems kind of tired, though.
He does. He does.
He's like, I'm 40 years old. I'm not used to having the spotlight this much. I got to take a nap a little bit later. Yeah. Anyways, he ends up, Kevin Owens hits Waller in the end. Theory's looking for A-Town down. Kevin Owens helps LA Knight escape that. Knight pushes Theory into Waller. Kevin Owens hits Waller with a stunner. The legal man, LA Knight, hits Theory with a billionaire finger trap for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, Becky, she's pacing backstage, and Bianca walks up to her and says, Charlotte was right. She wasn't trying to be smart with you. It was me that made the choice. Oh, sorry, it was you, Becky, that made the choice to join us. So you need to put your beef with Charlotte aside. At WarGames, if we want to walk out in one piece, you two need to be on the same page tonight. Becky goes, I'm fiery, I'm a fighter, but I'm cool. Bianca's like, you're cool? Becky goes, yes, I'm cool. So they're cool.
They're cool. They hugged later. Like, spoiler alert, they hugged in the match. After that, we had, the match on Saturday. We had a Carlito promo. He says, it's been a long time, Chicago. Tomorrow night at WarGames, it'll be Carlito's first match at a WWE premium live event in 13 years. And all that's cool. But honestly, all I can think about is my injured friend Rey Mysterio. And all I can think about is getting my hands on Santos Escobar. Now Santos said some horrible things to say about Rey and had a message for Carlito. But I have a message for Santos. And then he eviscerates him in Espanol.
Yeah.
And he says, Santos, you made a very big mistake. And he's interrupted by Santos. He talks to Carlito in Espanol. Follows with, let me get this straight. Where's your tattoo, by the way? You're not even representing LWO colors. Ray's your family now? No. Ray was always mi familia. LWO is always mi familia. If it wasn't for you, an outsider, my familia would still be together. It's because of you that Ray can't walk. Ray's career is over. That's because of you. It's like, wait a second, Santos. Wait, is that Carlito saying that? Or is that that's Santos saying that?
Wait, where?
Oh, don't worry about it. So Santos throws the mic at Carlito. I'm like, Santos, you were just wishing Ray get a leg amputated.
Oh, I know. He's saying if Carlito hadn't entered the picture, then none of this would have happened. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Let's see here. So Santos throws the mic at Carlito. He ducks, tackles Santos to the floor. They brawl ringside. Refs and security come to break it up. Santos walks up the ramp as Jamie Noble holds back Carlito near the ring steps. Santos runs back through the crowd and hits a jumping knee off the barricade on Carlito. We go to commercial, come back. Yeah, that was awesome. Santos attacks Carlito backstage. Santos tries to snap his arm. Dragon Lee comes in to break it up. That, of course, leads to a little bit later. It's announced Dragon Lee is taking his place.
Yep. Then we got Pretty Deadly taking on Brawling Brutes. Ridge didn't want to be there from the entrances. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be involved. He's tired of Butch for some reason. And
well,
then
Butch accidentally hit him, kicked him. You'd think again.
Let's go back, watch the tape.
Go back, watch the tape. They've had an entire week to get over it, to talk about that.
Oh, apparently doesn't happen.
Have a pint.
So
where's Sheamus?
He's injured.
I
think he's got a shoulder injury. I think that's what it was. So Butch is looking to get the tag to Ridge, but Ridge is already on the floor, and he just walks out.
Mm-hmm.
So Butch tries to fight off Pretty Deadly as best he can, hits some German suplexes, kicks Wilson out of the ring, hits Elton Prince with a pump kick, covers, Elton kicks out. So Butch is trying to snap his fingers. Wilson tags himself in. Butch doesn't see it, hits Prince with the bitter end. Wilson gets in the ring and rolls up Butch to get the W.
After that, this was a nice little moment. Shotzi and Charlotte backstage. She says, when Damage Central bullied me, it changed me and it scared a lot of people. But do you remember what you said when you saw my shaved head? And Charlotte says, yeah, you look beautiful. And Shotzi says, when you said that at my lowest, it meant the world to me. She says, and there was a nice little moment where Charlotte seemed to like fucking break character. She was like, yeah, you're going to make me emotional here. And she hugged her and sort of smiled. I was like, oh, that was genuine as hell right there.
It was.
Because remember, Shotzi shaved her head for, to be by her sister's side, metaphorically. Shotzi said, when you said that at my lowest, it meant the world to me. She says, look, I'm not saying to forget everything that happened between you and Becky, but I'm guessing Becky is hurting from the past just as much as you are. And a few words could change things, just like it did for me. Well, what a nice little sentiment right there. It's
I know.
WWE characters acting like real people. What the fuck is happening here?
I know. It's great to see.
It's crazy.
So Nick Aldis has an interview with Kayla. Says Carlito is hurt. He's hurt badly. No condition to compete at Survivor Series. Therefore, his match against Santos is postponed. And Dragon Lee steps in and says, I want to teach Santos a lesson. Put me in the match. And Aldis is like, you want the match? And Dragon Lee's like, put me in the match. And Nick Aldis says, you're in. You're in.
Give me what I want. After that, we had a Judgment Day promo. Rhea says, Judgment Day on SmackDown. Why? Because Judgment Day runs all of WWE. And Finn says, what a nice little warm-up tonight was, defending our tag team's titles instead of ahead of WarGames. Dom says, speaking of WarGames, isn't the last member another guy Jey Uso took out for 2 years? JD says, they're better off staying at home. And Priest says, JD, I can't disagree. Hey, Randy, your own partner taken out again, and the Judgment Day, make sure you don't have another comeback. Oh, Priest. Oh, my goodness.
I know. So we're backstage again. Charlotte's there. Becky walks up to her and is like, she starts to say something but can't.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlotte says, are you good? And Becky says, yeah, I'm good. And she asks, Becky then asks Charlotte, are you good? Charlotte says, yeah.
Yeah. And then they do the little tea thing, the little, whatever that is with the little pinkies before the match. But in the end, again, like you said, the go-home math here didn't really work out for Damage Central. because so let's see, where am I here? Boy, there's a lot going on. So Asuka.
So the finish saw Becky hit Bayley with the belly to back, followed with a manhandle slam and cover. So Asuka runs in to break up the pin. Charlotte spears her, but then Asuka lands on Becky after the spear, and that inadvertently breaks up the pin. So Becky gets up and is like, Charlotte, what the hell are you doing? And that allows Bayley to push Becky into Charlotte, and then Bayley rolls up Becky to get the W for Damage Central.
That's right. Damage
and so
Central.
the tensions were high between Becky and Charlotte coming out of SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I should have seen that one coming. All right.
I would have if I had watched SmackDown before Survivor Series, but I didn't.
Yeah, man. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, man. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm so close. Oh, I just realized, dude.
Huh.
I was not on Twitch on my personal account. I am so upset right now.
Wow.
I'm in a fit of rage.
Amateur hour over there.
No kidding, isn't it? Because I'm so close to 1 million channel points.
I know you are. It doesn't make me happy at all.
Close. 996.3. Hey, tonight, if we do stream Raw, might be my opportunity to get some of that, to become a millionaire.
Maybe. I got a lot of ground to make up because I lost about 100,000 points on Survivor Series.
Ooh.
Bad night for
we
Larson.
We can do a channel point bet. How long will CM Punk's promo go, or who will interrupt it? 20 minutes, yeah.
Judgment Day.
Well, the first hour is
commercial free, so CM Punk gets the mic for the first hour of Raw.
Yep.
I mean, it is almost festive this season. He's going to be airing his grievances.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
You want to answer a few questions before we do Raw preview, Steve?
Got that right. First up, Devil Survivor 69. Nice. Says, so I saw Matt Menard, I think, Daddy Magic, tweet this out, that AEW revived wrestling or saved wrestling or something like that.
I think was what the tweet said, yes.
He says, do you agree?
I don't know if I go so far as say AEW saved wrestling. I will say AEW gave wrestling a kick in the pants that it needed. It forced WWE's hand to not be so comfortable, if you will, from at a corporate level.
Mm-hmm.
They had to up their game. They had to start paying wrestlers better. That's the number one thing AEW did, is provide another company that has a good TV deal that could pay their wrestlers a lot of money. And it improved, I would hope, the financial fortunes of a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah.
And for that, AEW has been great for the wrestling business, if nothing else.
I'm going to say this, man. My guy, I really got to make, these have got to be bootlegs because I don't think we can make them. Triple H saved wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm a Triple H. I want to make a shirt.
You are an E-drone. That's been well established.
Oh, dude. Proud to wear those colors.
Sebastian Garcia, so what's the over-under on the number of AEW references tonight?
I don't know. I think one obligatory non-AEW slam, but a reference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or is he gonna slam him?
In Punk's return promo to AEW, he said something like, I had to get out of the other place I was working at because it was bad for my health.
Oh, yeah.
What if he said, I thought where I went to was going to be better, but it was worse or something like that. So I had to come home.
Yeah, that could be.
Alex Foster asks, instead of making them cooler, how would you make DIY even lamer than they already are?
Oh, what a great question. Make their gimmick huge Disney fans. Like, they just love the brand Disney. Yeah. Like Star Wars, Marvel, Mickey Mouse. Like, not a specific Disney-owned property.
No.
They come out wearing the Disney logo.
Yeah, that could be something. That would be worse.
They vlog from the theme parks.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad.
Yeah. They like GoBots instead of Transformers.
Oof.
Right?
Oof.
Let's see here. Eastside Review says, with the addition of Cousin Phil to the mix, what do you think the Mania cards will look like? You know what? We didn't do our Friendo Club video where we made the Mania cards, did we?
No, because we did one where we did the Rumble card, but we're going to have to do that over because Phil's around now.
Right. Yeah, okay.
I was hoping to do that one, and then we do the Mania card afterwards. But we shot it, didn't put it up, and now it's already old news, man.
It's already old news. All right. Sounds good.
Aussie here says, with Punk back at WWE, who do you see realistically returning for a run or jumping ship back to the Fed next?
Well, okay, there's a difference between who wants to and who will. Because if it's who wants to, it's clearly Malachi.
Malachi.
That
Andrade.
dude said CM Punk and Cesaro this week. He is checked out thoroughly.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see now, given the situation WB, what Mercedes Moné does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I could. Oh my God. Yeah, I could see that.
Disc Golfing Goon says, do you guys think that Punk and Seth are headed towards a match at the Rumble? If that's the case, what would be next for Randy? I wonder if we can get at Randy and Jey Uso. If we're going to get that feud. Or if Jay's super kicking, who is it, Priest, whoever, during WarGames was enough for Randy to be like, all right, we're cool.
I mean, you look at Randy and Jay in the ring after the camera
they
stopped
seemed totally
rolling.
cool.
They were totally cool. So, yeah, I don't know. Randy, I mean, him and Cody seem to be firmly on the same page, so I don't know. I mean, you could do Randy and Roman.
Good.
I mean, that would actually make
Rumble.
a lot of sense. If he goes to Jay, again, if people are acting like people, Jay could be like, look, I rejected the bloodline, and I apologize, yeet. And then he might say, your real beef is with the tribal chief. You got tribal chief beef.
Yeah, you do.
And so Randy says,
take
yeet.
the beef to the head of the table, yeah.
And he's Randy Orton. He can go wherever he wants. He goes back to SmackDown. And then there you go. You got your Royal Rumble match. Orton versus tribal chief.
There you go. It writes itself.
Mm-hmm. Here's a good one. Carlos Diaz says, knowing Punk worked with Darby, Starks, Garcia, who would be the first couple of young talent Punk might agree to put over?
In WWE?
WWE.
Seth Rollins.
LA
Knight.
I mean, compare. Well, except for LA Knight, everybody else is young compared to him.
I know.
LA Knight. Oh, what? I got to tell you, get a match now? I was in the middle of a great nap. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Let me sleep for you.
Yeah. Am I going to take a 2-hour nap? No. 3-hour? No. 4-hour? Yeah.
4-hour? Yeah.
Andre Zippel here says, do you think it's a smart idea to progress story beats off air, relying on fan footage to do so all of this past Saturday involving Punk and Seth? Here's the thing. I don't necessarily, they're going to hammer those, if that's the story, they're going to hammer those story beats home on air. What they're doing is set the tone, laying the groundwork. They know, they're well aware that everything that happens basically is photographed, either officially or in an unofficial capacity.
Oh my gosh.
And it's going to get out there.
Yeah.
And so you kind of got this viral thing where the stuff's happening with Seth, and it's like, oh man, is this real?
Mm-hmm,
Is Seth really pissed? Is this a story? And gets people talking.
Oh, I love it. We get to put on our thumbnails.
Exactly.
White Brownie says, would you guys say Vince getting the boot from creative was the worst thing to happen to AEW? I'll be honest, man. No, I think that I don't think what Vince getting the boot didn't have anything to do with AEW's creative vision sort of getting muddied.
Yeah.
We could have two just really kick-ass killer companies right now.
I know. Imagine how much better the wrestling business would be if we had two kick-ass companies right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know. Chris Stanton here says, what are your thoughts on Triple H potentially giving Rhea versus, and there's a blank here, at the Night 2 main event. So it was Rhea versus Becky.
Should be the night 1 main event. Oh wait, what's that? Say
The
again.
night 2 main event, the main event of all of WrestleMania.
You know, man, with all due respect, I know Rhea, she's the main character of Raw, but it's the tribal chief. Like, when you have somebody who, like, legitimate conversations revolve around, is he, what? What happened? Got a weird look
I
on your
have
face.
a bunch of talking on my thing, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, no.
It was little Tony Khan about releasing the Wembley tapes. Where the hell was that coming from?
So the Twitch crowd... The Twitch crowd is getting some
the
Tony
heck was
Khan shit
that?
right now.
Oh, it's because Russell Essays had the power chat.
Oh, your power chat alert is on, so like it's got
so.
you got the text to speech.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be true. We got to turn that one off, man.
Yeah.
Curious
All right, let's wrap
Corduroy
this show
says,
up before
Larson got hacked by Tony Khan.
That's
oh,
weird.
that's
Everything
great.
else is turned off. Oh, this is one of those things you got to go on the. Ugh, that's annoying.
Yeah, dude. Streamlabs is kind of crazy these days. I tried to go in there, it kept on like saving weird shit that I didn't even ask for. Yeah. Champ Fear and Loathing says 2027.
Does Tony Khan go take the L, be wholesome and ignore Survivor Series,
It's happening to
or
me
be a
now.
toxic ex and release the Wembley tapes?
No, get out of here. Why did it take so long?
That's weird.
Oh man, that's
All
wild.
right, we should get out of here where this all falls apart, Steve.
Oh, we gotta get out of here quick, man. Thanks. What? Yeah. Why did it do it to me? I don't even have an alert box up. That's
don't know either.
weird. That's weird. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us, everybody. No time for a Raw preview today.
Sorry, Phil's there. That's what you need to know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That was
Anyway.
wild. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Where's the end stream button? Where's the override?
The override. What the heck?